Okay, so this week is a special episode, special interview. I want to introduce you to one of my top TalkXcelerator clients, Michelle Mehta, and she is, I'm happy to say, a TEDx speaker. I'm going to let her introduce herself. We can all learn a lot from Michelle, and hopefully listening to this, you will learn a bit of, what you can achieve, and I'm sure it didn't all go smoothly. It doesn't always go smoothly. So we're going to dig in a little bit deeper from the 1-2-minute video you can see, or testimonial from Michelle. She's already sent me. But first, Michelle, thank you so much for spending the time with me today. And please tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and yeah, over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And I am a teen confidence expert, a 2-time international bestselling author, a celebrity coach, and thanks to Adam Lewis Walker and his TalkXcelerator program, I am now a TEDx speaker. And this journey would not have been possible. The TEDx journey would not have been possible if it wasn't for you and the program that you've created and the support that you've provided every single month. So thank you for being there and holding my hand as I progress through this journey.
Awesome. Well, thank you. As I've said to Michelle many times, and you think she may make it sound easy, but she does the work. She turns up. She's like my star student. Results are not average, definitely not with Michelle. But this is what is possible if you commit and engage and crack on. So if you can, the journeys. I'll just give some highlights. I think when you started working with me everyone has different experience, but about 8 weeks is when we started working. Then you secured your TEDx, and now we're sitting about 7 months. You've actually delivered it, and this is all during a pandemic. But can you think back to literally ground zero, or before you started on the TalkXcelerator program? Where were you at? What are your thoughts around a TEDx, and what were some of the challenges coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. In 2019, I was at an event in San Diego, and I had the opportunity to share a message. And so I held the mic and I spoke. And at the end of my message, the event leader was asking the audience, okay, where do you see Michelle's message? And people were saying, TED Talk, TED Talk, TED Talk, TED Talk. And in my head, I'm like, I'm no Bill Gates. I'm no Brené Brown. I know Simon Sinek. I'm nobody. How the hell would I get on that stage? And in January of 2020, my coach that I've been working with, Matt Browning, said, I have a power partner. His name is Adam Lewis Walker, and his whole thing is about getting people on a TEDx stage. The moment Matt said that, I texted Matt immediately. He said, Matt, I want that. I don't care what else you're offering. I want that. And we had the conversation. And in February, I'm in this relationship with this man, and he's in data scientist. And he said, Michelle, get out of everything that you just said yes to.
I remember this. You almost pulled the plug on everything, didn't you?
I pulled the plug.
Wow, it was like that doubting and that, yeah.
He told me, Michelle, don't do, TED Talk is not happening because the world's going to go under. And I said, hey, I'm not moving forward, period. And I didn't move forward for the month of March. April comes around and Matt said, what the hell, Michelle? You and I are friends. How dare you just cut us off like that? What happened? I said, that was February. The guy is gone for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I'm back on the game. Put me back up. Let me know what I need to do.
Yeah. And you came in just like, right, let's go.
And in May, we started.
Yeah. And just to fill in the gaps for all of this, how Matt brought in as well, how he recommended me as well. He came into the program, and we had, again, not saying it doesn't always work like this. Again, he's an exceptional, experienced speaker. We managed to land his TEDx talk in a couple of weeks. He does the work and does what's needed to be done. And I think that's important when you come into the TEDx world as well, or you decide you're going to pursue it. It's about working smart. I was just interviewing another client yesterday who's achieved their TEDx talk. It's important to stay on it. You kept the momentum. And with other people, sometimes if you think you've secured it, people kind of like down the tools and think it's in the bag. And then maybe that, if it's only like you've only got one avenue you're pursuing, then if that falls through, you're kind of back at ground zero. And that's happened for 1 or 2 clients, and they've achieved it, but it's kind of like they have to restart and get a second wind. So I think it's important to stay on it. Going through the process, and obviously I think a key thing we can learn from yourself, and again, I've tweaked it so people, you know, it's harder for people to drop the ball since, I mean, seeing how you've done so well in this process. What were some of the valuable aspects, things that were really helpful for you in you know, in staying on it and getting your TEDx? I know you got it in, secured it in 8 weeks, but then staying on it and making sure it happened. What were some of the valuable stuff?
Absolutely. One of the things was, so I work in a timeline manner. And so your calls were the first and the third Wednesdays of every month.
Yeah.
And that was an incentive for me to complete the homework before I saw you next. And so Tuesday nights, I'm scrambling, like, oh my God, I have a call with Adam tomorrow, and I have no idea what I'm going to talk to him about. And so that was the incentive of, oh, I got to finish the homework. And I went through modules 1, 2, and 3, and I was applying. And even then, when it came down to the application process, I even had a call with, okay, Adam, I watched this module. I'm not sure where to apply. What do I do? And with your feedback, I then went and applied that weekend. And I applied to 5 places. And Cal State Fullerton, because it was their first time hosting a conference, they were like uber eager, super eager to like get this going. And
yeah, and that's, again, we managed to, when you did your hunt as well, we managed to, the actual place you did your event at as well, you did your talk, we actually managed to get an interview with the organizer before your application came in. Was that correct?
Yes. Before my actually, my application had already gone in.
The first,
Yeah, the first 2 rounds had already been completed.
It was all at the same time. And I remember another one of our, again, another one of our clients was applying to the same event, and it looked like on the surface, again, this way you got to stay on it until you get the result. But it looked like potentially he was going to get the TEDx talk at that event, and we wasn't so sure about yourself. It seemed and then last minute you landed the TEDx, and unfortunately was unsuccessful at that event.
Yeah, that, like, our counterpart was at like 4 interviews in, and I'd already had nailed in 2. And I was like, okay, well, I guess they're done. And so I then, after our call, I emailed the organizer that night, and I said, hey, just want to check in to see where we're at. And they said, oops, we forgot to send you the email. And of course, I sent that email, and I went to bed, and I woke up in the morning, and it said, congratulations, you've been selected. And I looked at that email, I did a triple take. Congratulations, you've been accepted. Congratulations, you've been accepted. And I'm like, does that read? And of course, I can't even run it by anybody else to see what they're reading, what I'm reading. And I immediately called my mom, and I was crying like a baby, like, oh my God, it said like I'm doing this. And I said, I don't even know how this happened. What the hell? It's like out of body experience. And I immediately texted you and Matt.
I was going to say that call, and then I got your voicemail, and then I had to call you. That call that's one of the highlights. Honestly, I have that as one of my highlights of as a coach, and just it was brilliant just to hear what it meant to you, and TEDx talks meant a lot to me, and that's why I do this. But just hearing it for you, that it all happened and it's moving forwards, and then obviously. We still got, it's exciting, but we still got, TEDx talk. You can't just land them and do them. You still got, ground to cover and work to do. And you stayed on it. You stayed on it the whole way.
And I think it was because my dream ever since I was like a teenager, early 20s, was to be a motivational speaker. And when the opportunity came to be the best motivational speaker that I could be, I told Matt Browning when I first met him, I said, I want to be the best speaker that I can be. And when this TED Talk came, it meant the world to me to be like, if I want to be a speaker, the biggest platform to be a speaker at that is recognizable is a TED Talk. Doesn't matter if it's an X or not an X. It's just getting up on that stage on that platform and being there. And so when I had the opportunity to then film, because they said it was going to be in person, not in person, it's all virtual, I made sure I had my hair and makeup done. I made sure that I had the right crew, to film it, professional videographers film it, with the right support team with me to that make sure that I'm in the right energy space to deliver it.
Yeah.
And even then, that was an out-of-body experience for me. So
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, we're in 2021 now, just to date this interview, but also, what do you say to anyone who's there's, you know, the world isn't back to normal now, or yet even, as someone who pursued a TEDx and achieved a TEDx literally in 2020 and delivered it into early 2021, this world is definitely still not back to normal. What would you say to anyone who wants to be a TEDx, or do a TEDx talk, but they're unsure about either pursuing it in general, and even they're not sure about this Talk Accelerator process and working with me and making it happen?
number one, if you really want to stand out, you have to, and it's not a choice. I mean, it's a choice, obviously. Everything in life is a choice. I say have to because the opportunities now. It is one of the easiest opportunities right now. Number one, it's virtual. It doesn't matter where you are. You can fly out, you don't have to fly anywhere. You can attend any event that you want. Number two, working with Adam's 10 module program, he breaks it down. If you do the homework, module one after the other, and the support group that he's created on Facebook is beyond amazing because of the fact that he supports you, like he handholds you, not only during the calls, but even after the calls. As long as you tag him at Adam Lewis Walker, he'll read what you're writing. He'll give you the proper feedback. It wasn't December. So once I got selected, I kind of took a break from the modules because I wasn't sure what was happening beyond it. I thought, I have time. Something hit me in December and I said, I haven't finished modules 8, 9, or 10. And I went on this massive spree of finishing those during the holiday season. And had I not had done that, I would have been in a complete different situation. Because modules 8, 9, and 10 talks about your finalizing your story, making sure the right words per minute, and being able to shoot a video and capturing the moment in the first 5 minutes. Well, the way my talk was designed with the writing consultants from Cal State Fullerton I was working with was just massive brain dump. It was just stories after stories after stories, and there was no gist of it. It wasn't for your feedback of, hey, Michelle, I don't even know what the hell your talk is about. Because 5 minutes and I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, oh my God.
Tough love here. By that stage, you knew my heart was in the right place.
Exactly. And I was the type of person, and I said, if you don't give me feedback, you're doing me an injustice. Yeah. And please give me the good, bad, and the ugly, because I'm doing this for a reason.
Well, the thing what I was so relieved when we're doing them sessions right near the end, and then we did, booked in sort of like masterclass review right near the end. It's just that relief, because I've had a client as well who wasn't as proactive, and they didn't book in that session that, rightly so, that they have with me, I want to do. And then I've seen their talk and I'm like, oh, I wish I'd seen it before and had a word. But with your one, I was just so much relieved, because I'm like, this is good, but it's like, I know we can do so much better. And from my own journey, I wish I had that piece of someone truly just wanting the best talk for me on that kind of TEDx level, to just like, okay, how it's good, but how could I make it better? Or that bit went a little bit flat, or how can we just tweak it so we're confident that this is the best talk that we can put out at the moment?
Yeah, and the way Cal State Fullerton designed it was, so they left me cold turkey October and November, right? The last time I met with them was in September.
Yeah, and this is quite common, and it varies from event organizers to event organizers, but especially someone like yourself you got your stuff together. They're probably worrying about other speakers who maybe not so far down the line and think, and that's where attention goes. And that, that's natural, and that's just what happens.
Yeah, and on January 9th, they had a meeting with all the speakers, and they said, okay, here's what we're looking at. These are your deadlines. And I immediately messaged the organizer. I said, my talk needs help. Please support. And we spent 4 hours on Sunday. The meeting was on Saturday, and we spent 4 hours on Sunday dialing down the talk to make it manageable. And then I am a lone wolf, and January was the first time in my life where I asked for support for any person that called my phone. If any friend called my phone, I said, hey, can you listen to my talk? Can you read my talk? Can you review it? And working with, working at my job and this, so it's just like navigating.
Yeah. Well, that's actually something I want to talk about as well, just briefly,
Yeah.
because a lot of times people might be mistaken. You think you're just on this full time, but you had a lot of things on the go, and people are
Oh yeah.
always busy. But your thoughts about like someone who's, I'm too busy to do that, or I get to that down the line. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. I filmed a TV segment from the time my script was written and it was delivered was 1 week. On top of our TEDx stuff, I also published a second book during our TEDx journey. So it's, how badly do you want this? How badly do you want this opportunity? Because the opportunity knocks on everyone's door.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to open that door or not.
Awesome. Prioritizing. And I just want to say in wrapping things up, thank you for being, the model student turning up. As a coach, you just want people to action, your advice, your words, do the program and just move through. And it's been an absolute pleasure working with you. And I know we're going to continue to work in some shape or form because, people can learn so much from your experience who are going through their TEDx journey themselves and they want it. And I think that's the key thing is everyone's busy. There's so much to do, but when you turn up and you've got half an hour or an hour that week to know exactly what is the next step and what's the priority for you. Because once you get into it, we've got the training modules, but everyone's journey goes very different. No one's had an exact journey like you, and it's like the same for everyone in the program. So thank you so much for your time today, Michelle. Is there anything else you'd like to add? I don't want to just, again, it's my habit to close or finish shows and stuff and interviews.
I honestly think that this journey and the way you did it, Adam, there could be no better way. There could be no better way because we don't realize what's behind the scenes of, like my idea when I originally brought it to you, said, I don't know where this idea is going, right? But this hand-holding, tough love is what got my speech to be where it's at. It's what got the feedback that I received after it was delivered. And the feedback that I've been receiving is from people that never watch anything of mine, have been like watching it. And it's just the journey that's what I'm celebrating, and it's this feeling of what was my why. And I was stressed out, by the time this opportunity came. Even Matt Browning said, what's your why behind this? I said, my why is to be the best speaker that I can be and to deliver it with the best way that I know how. He goes, that's it. Don't worry about anything else. And because it's a TED Talk and you tell people it's for a TED Talk, people will come and support you in writing it and hearing you out, and they will do it without a judgment because they want to see you rise with you. And that's what I learned in the month of January.
Love it.
Was the massive support that I received from people that I didn't even know could give me that support.
I've just looked on your LinkedIn profile and stuff. I just love it. It's the first line, TEDx speaker. And again, like you say, it's in when you share it on Facebook or any social media, just the comments that come in and just the interaction, the volume, and I love seeing it on your LinkedIn profile there. It just looks awesome. We could talk all day.
It says in 7 months, and I say 7 months because from the time I started to be, with Adam's process to the time it was delivered, it was 7 months.
Yeah.
One of my friends said, 7 months, excuse me? Let's talk about your coaching training. Let's talk about you being a Toastmasters. Let's talk about, it's been a journey for anything, right? But the milestone of start to finish was 7 months. I've been a coach for 6 years now. Been in personal development since 2010. So I've been doing the work on enhancing my message. But the TEDx journey itself, from being with Adam, module 1, to delivering it, has definitely been a 7-month long journey.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you for letting me be here, and thank you for letting me share my message.